All right, so when x is greater or equal to -7, so the first thing it says is you write it in y equals mx plus b. But this first question doesn't have y equals mx plus b. So actually these ones are really simple. With these ones, you just go to, when it's just x equals something, I mean x greater than or less than, doesn't matter, x and then a number, you're just going to go to the x-axis, go to that number. So x equals -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there, and you're going to put a point. And what this is saying is that no matter what x is, whatever what y is equal, x is always equal to -7. So to get your next point to whether it's a vertical or horizontal line, because that's what that means, is all you would need to do is make up something. So when x is always going to be this -7, so x is -7, -7, no matter what value you pick for y. So just pick any value. So pick 0 and pick, I don't know, 2, doesn't matter, okay? That's saying x is always equal to -7. So -7, y is equal to 0. When y is equal to 2, x is still -7. So when y is equal to 2, x is still -7. So you'll see that it will make a vertical line. Now, before I draw this line, this is a listening check. Color in x is greater than or equal to -7. Rewrite this. This only works if you have y equals. We don't have y equals, so we need to have whatever x is always equal to -7. All right, number 2, graph starting at the y-intercept and going rise over run. Again, that only depends if you have y equals. Number 3, is it greater than or equal to? So the way you're going to look at that is this. I always look at, if I'm going left to right, I look at how big this is. Is this big compared to this side? Yes, that's how you know it's big. So it's greater than. Over here, what do you hit first? The greater than. So this is big. Versus here, coming from the left, what do you hit first? You hit that and then the big. So this is small. Again, that and then that. So you hit small, it's going to be less than. You hit big, it's going to be more than. Okay. So that's how you read this. X is bigger or equal to -7. So is it more than big, which is this? Put a dot on the top of the y-axis. Now, for this is the only exception to, like, actually these notes is what I threw this example in. Give me numbers that are bigger or equal to -7. Bigger. Just like go big. So -5, 0, anything on this side, right? So you're going to know that that's the side that you're going to shade. Now you also need to know, I really should have switched step 3 and 4 around, but my bad, and I already copied it down. Is it a dotted line or is it a solid line? So dotted line doesn't have the equal to underneath. Solid line does. So you look at your example, is it a solid or dotted? So it's solid line. So I'm going to draw a solid line. Bam. And then I'm going to shade it to the right of that because it is bigger than. So anything over here gets shaded. Okay. So this is going to be the only exception. Everything else is going to work except when you have x by itself. Okay, so when you have x by itself, it's a vertical line at the number, and then if it's bigger, it's to the right. If it's less than, it's to the left. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Okay, so this is what I need. So rewrite it in this form, y equals mx plus b. It's already like that. So if it's already like that, I don't need to follow any of this. Graph starting at the y-intercept. So remember, the y-intercept is the number by itself. There's no number here. So what can I write? If there's no number, how do I write that? +0. No number. So graph starting at the y-intercept, no number, 0. And then going rise over run. So how am I doing rise over run? Remember from previous video, you just make it a fraction. So I'm going to go down 7, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then right 1. There. So those are my 2 points. Okay, once again, I mixed step 3 and 4. They should be turned around. So I'm going to read 4 first and then 3. Is it a dotted line if there's no equal sign underneath? Solid line if there's an equal sign underneath. So what is it right now? It's a dotted line. So we're going to make a dotted line. This is a listening check. Put a triangle around example 2. That's EX2. That goes through those 2 points. Okay, then I'm going to come back to step 3 because obviously I wrote those the wrong way. Is it more than or less than? Okay, so what is this? So I come, the first thing I hit is the big one. So the big one is more. If it's more, big, put a dot at the top of the y-axis. So if it's more, put a dot at the top of the y-axis. Bam. Okay. Then it says the final step, shade from the line to the dot on the y-axis. All right, so shade from the line to the dot. So from the line to the dot. So it's going to be on this side. This is a listening check. Draw a smiley face on the bottom of this page. From the line to the dot. Okay, that's it. Let's take a look at another example. So you have this example. It says rewrite in y equals mx plus b, or you're going to graph by x and y intercepts, whichever one is easier. I find x and y intercept is easier, so I'm going to graph it that way instead of rewriting it. I'll only rewrite it if I get a fraction. So if I was trying to look for the x-intercept and I solve that, it will be divided by 7. I'm going to get a fraction. So because I get a fraction, I'm not going to graph by intercepts. I have to actually rewrite it. So let me go ahead and rewrite that in y equals mx plus b. So once again, what do I need? I need this to go to the other side. So it's going to be y less than or equal to negative 7x plus 5. Now, did I divide or multiply by a negative number? No, so I don't flip it. So just remember, that's the one thing you do need to remember, to flip the inequality if you divide or multiply by a negative number. So I'm good like that. So I rewrote it. Graph starting at the y-intercept. Remember, the y-intercept is by itself. So the y-intercept is the number by itself, which starts at 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So bam, you put a dot right there. Then it says go and rise over run. So I am going to, now you need to make this a fraction, so we're going to put it over 1. Down 7, right 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then right 1. Bam. All right, then remember I mixed these steps. You're going to do this one, then this one first. I'm sorry. Is it a dotted line, meaning there's no equal sign, or a solid line because there's an equal sign? There's an equal sign, so that means it's a solid line. So when I join those 2 points up, I'm going to make a solid line. Now, to shade, is it bigger? Is it big or small? So what do I hit first? So coming this way, what do I hit first? I hit this, which is what? Small. So if it's small, you're going to put a dot on the bottom of the y. So if it's small, you put a dot at the bottom of the y-axis. Bam. Shade from the line to the dot on the y-axis. So you shade from the line to dot. So here's my line to the dot. So I need to make sure I shade all of that. Boom. And that's it.